A lot of people right now are probably sitting at home bored out of their minds, having exhausted their supply of watchable movies and feeling what we might call the isolation blues. Some folks are no doubt worried out of their minds because they aren't out working and don't have much of a financial safety net, if any, to fall back on. So we're going to tell you who's hiring right now, and more importantly, are hiring for work you can do from the comfort of your own home. We based this information on job websites where we could identify companies actively hiring for remote jobs, and we found quite a few, a number of which will probably surprise you. Some of these jobs required the person to have a great deal of experience already, but we found others that would hire a person without any experience. All you needed was a high school diploma. One of the most popular jobs posted is for customer support at a remote call center. You can see job requirements such as this one that is currently on Glassdoor. Candidates should have the drive to learn and excel in their position. Communication is the key to building relationships with the medical providers. Okay, so you have to be self-motivated and good at communicating, but you can get this work right now. We found many jobs that paid between $8 and $15 per hour depending on where they were based. Many of these jobs are part-time and others are temporary positions, which might be just ideal for someone who's been asked to take some time off from their other job. Transcription work also looks to be a growing industry based on the number of job posts we found. And it's yet another where workers are able to do their job from home. Plenty of companies are still looking for remote transcription work, and you'll find lots of companies. If listening to audio and accurately typing it out sounds like your kind of job, then we have good news because you can often get $15 to $22 per audio hour or more. We actually know someone who does this kind of work, and they've told us it can be tricky at the start as you're getting used to the systems and guidelines different companies use. The person we know almost gave up, but once she learned the ropes, she actually started to enjoy it. We noticed many companies warning that there might be a large pay difference depending on experience and how fast you can work. So beginners might expect only to get $250 a month, while someone experienced and faster at translating might be able to get something more like $2,200 a month. And beside the money, the real beauty of this job is that you can usually choose the number of hours you want to work. Most of us just have been online and need some kind of help, and the robot you were connected with just wasn't up to the job. We don't know why they aren't able to make a chatbot that understands that I want to return the shoes I bought 8 years ago, but that's just the reality we live in. If you're like us, then you were eventually directed to a real-life human to chat with, and this is yet another perfect job you can do from home. Look for chat agent work, and you'll find tons of job postings. The pay seems to be anything from $10 an hour to $15 an hour. We're mostly talking about jobs in the USA, by the way, but we're sure other countries need chat agents too. You'll have to learn something about the company, and you may have to be a bit tech-savvy to operate the chat software, but the most important skill you'll need is the ability to communicate with people in a clear and friendly manner. We found one job where the requirements were a high school diploma, decent internet speed, and a quiet place to work, since you might also have to speak with people on a voice or video call. The basic skills required were strong verbal communication and problem-solving skills, ability to multitask as needed to get the job done. Okay, so you can do that. We know you can. The starting wage was $16 an hour. Alright, so maybe you're not the best on the phone or over chat, or just at communication in general, but you're a great writer. But you're thinking you could never make money writing? Wrong. Turn your job search to entry-level copywriting jobs. Okay, so some of these jobs do require experience, but others will just ask that you have good writing skills. Some of the easiest writing work to start with is product description. When you shop online, there's almost always a description of the thing you want to buy. Well, someone like you, probably working at home, actually wrote that description. You can go to all sorts of websites where people post jobs that can be done remotely. And we're talking about all kinds of jobs. We just looked at the website Upwork.com, and there were lots and lots of product description jobs. You might do some writing work even when you're not stuck at home to get some extra cash, and who knows, it might even turn to your full-time career. What's that? Writing isn't your thing? Well, we've got 3 words for you: search engine evaluation. It's basically typing a search word into a search engine and then evaluating the results, analyzing things like whether the websites that came up were relevant to the search word. There are lots of companies posting search engine evaluation jobs, and there are many you could do right now from your home. You'll need at least a high school diploma and need to know a bit about the current events or pop culture. But if you can prove that you have some decent research skills and are internet savvy, you can start doing this kind of work quite easily. In the US, people are doing this job usually getting paid $12 to $15 per hour. Keeping with the theme of internet-focused jobs, next up is content moderation. In the simplest terms, it means looking at the content that gets posted online and determining whether it meets certain criteria or should be taken down. Some of you have heard about the issues the team of contracted moderators that worked with Facebook experienced, mostly due to the graphic nature of the content they had to review. But the world of moderating is bigger than just Facebook. Think about how many different forums, boards, and comment sections there are on the web, and almost all of them need to be moderated. We found several websites hiring right now, and we think if you are mature, intelligent, reliable, ethical, you stand a good chance of becoming a moderator. If moderation isn't for you, but you're either really good at certain subjects in schools or great at picking up a subject and explaining it to others, then online tutoring might be the perfect job for you. In addition to tutoring on regular subjects like math, science, and history, there are also lots of opportunities for tutoring on English. We found many jobs that basically require you to have conversations with people in English, correcting mistakes and helping to make your student feel comfortable conversing in English. And while we're on the topic of language, are you fluent in a second language? If you are, then you should also be looking at translation jobs. Okay, so there are expert translators in the world who are highly skilled, but they often only take on huge or difficult projects, leaving lots of smaller and easier translation jobs for the average run-of-the-mill multilingual work-from-home person. One job we found online was translating English to Korean. This was the job description. Simple text translation. The articles do not have to be translated 100% exactly using the dictionary, etc. The sense and logic of sentences must be preserved. That's it. So if you have a good grasp of Korean and English, you could do that job easily. We found a bunch of similar jobs, and while $6 to $8 an hour isn't that great, it is the kind of job you can do while hanging out at home with some music playing in the background. Speaking of jobs you can do while relaxing with some music playing, do a search for website and app testing jobs, and you'll find a bunch of companies that hire people to test websites. This is one of the easiest jobs we found, since all you're required to do is go to a website or use an app and then provide some feedback as to what your experience was like. Did all the functions work? Was it easy to navigate? Etc. The problem with these gigs is that they're sporadic, but if you sign up to multiple companies out there offering the service, you might find yourself getting regular work. The pay is usually $10 for 20 minutes of work. Not a bad hourly rate if you can get enough to fill your work days. We actually know another person who once did this. He was instructed to use an app that aggregated airline flights and listed the prices of those flights. Then someone would call him and ask him what he thought about the app. Was it easy to use? Could he find what he was looking for? That was it. Easy money. Similar to testing jobs, surveys are another great work-from-home job. Yeah, you actually get paid just for completing surveys. There are plenty of them out there, but we should warn you that this is probably the lowest paying of all the jobs on the list. But it's still extra money and just about anyone can do it. One of the biggest issues with this work is that many of the websites won't pay you in cash, but in some form of gift card or vouchers. Not an ideal situation when you've just lost your job and your landlord won't accept a Cheesecake Factory gift card in lieu of rent. Another issue is that we've seen lots of warnings about fake or fishy companies using the allure of easy money to steal information from or scam people. We found several websites that claim to have researched a bunch of survey websites and listed the best of them, explaining just how much you'd be getting paid. But do your homework and look into the websites and companies in depth before giving anyone your information. According to one of these review sites, though, one website offered about 30 cents for each survey, and the surveys took around 3 minutes to complete. That's about $6 an hour if you could do surveys nonstop. Again, not the best, and the issue is you'll probably be hard-pressed to find enough surveys to fill a day, so don't count on this as a full-time job. But again, when you need money, every little bit can help. Finally, there's a number of websites that offer miscellaneous freelance work, and you'll never know what'll pop up that relates to the skills you have. There might even be jobs posted right now for the skill that you have that you didn't even know was something people paid for. Websites like Upwork, FlexJobs, and even Craigslist are filled with random tasks people need completed, many of which can be done from home with minimal experience and don't require a college degree. There are also sites like Remote.com that specialize in placing people in entry-level work-from-home jobs. You may also want to consider reaching out to a professional recruiter. Even during a bad job market, there are plenty of companies hiring. And now more than ever, many of them are open to hiring people who can do their work remotely. Recruiters and job placement services will have leads on which companies are hiring for positions that fit your specific skills. And again, you might have monetizable skills that you're not even aware of. And there are lots more than just the entry-level jobs that you can do from home. We've focused today on a lot of jobs that most people can do, but there are lots of highly skilled workers right now sitting at home. The online world is your oyster, and if you have some skills, there's likely work out there for you, and it can be done remotely and sometimes on a temporary basis. We hope this helped you on your job hunt, or maybe gave you some reassurance that if you lose your job, you'll still be able to find something new that you can do from home. If you're staying at home, we think you should also try and stay fit. For that reason, we're going to offer you 2 amazing videos that will keep you fit and firm. The first one is "These small changes will get you shredded," and the second one is "I did sit-ups for 90 days and this is what happened."